Definitely not. I'm good. I'm good. I only sing if I could dance it. So that's it.
So hanging out with Leandro and Alini was amazing. They are just so awesome. They're so down to earth. They're funny. Leandro speaks like so many languages, but we only communicate in one. Alini is so sweet. And then they have their little girl, Ellis. She is just so adorable. My kids are obsessed with her. They're just constantly playing. And they're so happy that now their daughter has someone to play with. Leandro has really taken the time to show us around so we can really get to know the area as we're searching for apartments.
I just know we're gonna work well together. We're just vibing very well. There are 3 reasons why my family and I want to be missionaries. The first reason is we love to tell people about Jesus. I would say growing up, I wasn't as close to my father as I would have liked to be. But my father, he showed us that he loved us through working really hard. And through that process, I think there was a lot of moments in which I felt that I wasn't enough. And I found that there was healing, much healing, in finding other people who are experiencing the same thing that I was experiencing. So as I ministered to people, I realized that people, all people, are broken. All people have cracks in their hearts. And by realizing that, I found healing in community. I found healing in empathizing with others and others empathizing with me as well. And we would find healing in telling others about Jesus. And so this became part of, for me, the only thing I can say is a movement in my life, and then eventually became a movement in other people's lives. The second reason is for my family. I want my kids to not just hear me preach, but to see me in action. And it's my prayer every day, God, let me accept my kids. Let me accept my wife for who they are. Let me love them through the frustrations. Let me be patient with them. Let me care for them. Let this experience of being a missionary be a beautiful, wonderful experience for my children, so that when we eventually are called to go home, they can look back and say, I would do it again. That mommy and papi were so loving throughout the process. I started to cry because that's what I wanted the most. And the third is to preach the gospel to my community and to my people back in Orlando. There's a lot of sermons that I preached in the last 13 years. And all these sermons that I preached were all about going out and preaching the gospel and telling people about Jesus and how Jesus is coming soon. And what I told my church is, I think this is my last sermon. And that is me going to go do what I've been preaching about for so many years. We don't just preach about the gospel and being nice, we do it. We don't just talk about it. We don't just go to church. We don't just go for a weekend to experience church, but we are the church, and we go out and we tell people about Jesus. That's my sermon by doing this here. No more words, all action. don't know, Dobar dan is actually good day in Hrvatski.
Thank you for following us on this journey to Croatia. Thank you for watching our shows.
Yes, the reason we made the mini-series with AFM was to show what it takes for a family to be launched out into the mission field. Hope it gave you a better glimpse of the journey that families take to be able to get out into the field. So we showed you a little glimpse of a few days before launching, our journey in the airplane and on a bus to finally make it to Croatia, and then a few days after we made it to Croatia.
Yes, we even enjoyed watching it ourselves. There was a few tears. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Our eyes got a little watery. Seeing the whole process in a third person view. But we want to invite you, because the purpose of this 5 series, this mini series, was to encourage others who are interested in missions. If there is a desire, if there is a purpose that you may have to get into missions, well, we want to encourage you to call up or reach out to AFM. I mean, that's how we started. We just had questions. We really weren't committed to nothing. And then next thing you know, 3 years later, we're in Croatia.
Yes.
So, yes. So we're very thankful. And if you have a desire to do so as well, or if you just have questions, please reach out to AFM.
Yes. Vidimo se!
Vidimo se!